it is getting warm in Alabama, and the grass is starting to grow a little bit. The front yard is mainly just weeds. Seems like that's what sprouts first, is the weeds. We got some trees are blooming, or little buds on them, so we're getting warm down here. And there's some pollen. I don't know if you can see it. My truck is just dirty, period. But the pollen is breaking out, and luckily I don't react too much to pollen. But it's like just dirt down here. And another thing that an aggravating part about spring coming in, I know I say I like springtime better than I do fall or winter, but the stinging bugs are coming out, and also these little barn swallows or something that make these mud nests. And I have taken preventive measures by putting that wood up there to try to reduce the ability for them to make their nest. And it's worked for a few years, but here they come. They've done come back and making a mess. And it's all on the ground. And they splattered on the side of my house, the window. These little guys are just aggravating. I think that's, when I was looking it up, I think somebody said they're a protected animal. I wouldn't kill them anyway, but what really frustrates me is they're grabbing mud from the creek over here, and they fly it over my vehicles and drop mud and stuff on it. They have in the years past, but I don't see any right now. But you know, it's something that's a bit aggravating. What's going on over here? Let me come over and look at my creek. See if there's any sticks or anything piled up. But anyway, that's a creek right here that runs between my two properties, and it's mainly just runoff. Whenever it rains, all the runoff from the different parts of the neighborhood, they end up coming through this area right here. But there's actually some little fish in there too. And watch my step. I have seen snakes over here in the past. I don't want to walk up on a old rattle moccasin crocker gator rattle moccasin over here or anything. But anyways, just a little quick tour of the side of my yard. But I tried to do this yesterday. Had my camera out here, went to work out in the shed. I was recording, vlogging, talking, and turns out my camera had gotten put on some kind of slow motion thing. Super slow mo, I don't know. There's a setting in there, and what had happened, I'd left the camera on at one point in time, the last time I was trying to vlog, and while it was in my pocket, some settings got changed, and that's what it was on. Looking back through the footage, there was several times I tried to record something and it was all on slow mo. There wasn't no audio with it, or the audio files were short. So y'all don't tell Mandy I'm this stupid, but yeah, goof up on my part. Y'all know I've been trying to improve my health, you know, for the main purpose of needing to outlive my wife, who's disabled. I don't want to leave her alone here in this world to figure out who's going to take care of her or whatever. But quite honestly, I have not made any progress. You know, I weigh myself regularly, and on good weeks, I'll be down to like 216 pounds-ish. And bad weeks, I'm back over 220, 222. And, you know, it's strange how my weight can fluctuate, 5 pounds from week to week. But honestly, I haven't been able to string together enough weeks or months to really lose any weight. And it's really starting to irritate me, because where I think I'm in a calorie deficit, obviously I'm in a calorie surplus. So here I go again this week, starting out good, and I'm going to try to back it up with a good weekend. Now, usually on the weekends, I might have a beer or two or three, and you know, there's a lot more sitting around, a lot more opportunity to go rummage through the cabinets. And Mandy likes this candy called Starburst Minis, and she gets the sour flavor, and we actually have to order them online. We can't buy them in a store, but those things are so good. It's like what I would imagine a crackhead feels when it's trying to get another hit. But yeah, I fail, and I end up getting my fat mitts into those sometimes. And, you know, maybe on the weekends, end up eating something out of convenience instead of health. So it'll be unhealthy, but I just have not been keeping my hands to the plow and getting things done. So I guess this is confession time, and that was the whole point and purpose of this channel, was to help me improve my life mentally, physically, spiritually, and you know, to be accountable where I'm falling short. And I'm definitely not making any progress on my my weight loss. I think I'm doing good on A1C, cholesterol, and my doctor just put me on blood pressure medicine, and it's losartan, so I think it's kind of low on the strength of blood pressure medicine, so that's good. But still, you know, I don't like being on that. So, you know, the only way to not be on it is to improve. So here I am again, saying that, you know, I'm going to do something, or I need to do something, but I really need to figure out how to be committed to it. You know, this is really important stuff. I got to be committed to my wife, to be healthy, to take care of her for many years, hopefully many years. But yeah, it's the time is now. So anyways, I've been getting down here to the shed gym. Did it a couple times last week, got in here yesterday. So I'm gonna try to back it up with another light workout. You know, I had to be really careful, you know, with doing any kind of squats or anything, shoulder exercises, because, you know, I have ailments, but I still want to be able to get a little bit stronger, put on some muscle, so that way I can live a little longer. So anyways, let me get this started right here, because after this, I got to go in and figure out dinner. Yesterday a wasp was making its way around here, and I had to dispatch him. I can't have folks like that in here disrupting my workout. Had to make it a short one. It's almost 5:30. I gotta put something together for dinner, and gotta get ready to give Mandy a shower by about 7:30. So my evenings are pretty short, and I don't have a whole lot of time to get things done. Usually leave work about 4:15. It's close to 5 o'clock when I get home, and you know, I got a couple hours to do something or do nothing, and then it's time to get ready for bed. But I have been pretty consistent with the morning walks. I get up at 4:30, 4:45, and get everything going, and then I try to get me a 35 minute walk. It's usually about 1.5 to 2 miles, and I'm usually cooking along about 3.5 miles an hour. If I'm feeling froggy, I might bump it up to 3.8, sometimes 4 miles an hour, but I can't do that for long. That's usually at the end of my walk session. But anyway, just try to get some grub down my throat, relax for a few minutes, and then get ready for bed. Probably gonna have eggs and ground beef. I ground I think a 5-pound roll of ground beef Sunday to try to do a little bit of meal prep and stuff. So just to have something high in protein on hand, so that way I can go for that instead of trying to hunt for something to eat and end up eating garbage instead. Dinner's finished, so now see if I can put this in the editor and chop it up, cut it up, and put it out.